The Border Patrol has a new chief, Raul Ortiz. He grew up in Del Rio and still has family there.
He's been working on the border for 30 years and says what's going on there affects everyone. KENS 5 border reporter Anastasia Bolton had a few minutes to talk to Ortiz when he recently visited the Rio Grande Valley.
This isn't just a border problem. This is a national security issue.
In 30 years on the job, you see things. And then in July, your agency hits the busiest month in 21 years.
I will tell you that the men and women of the Border Patrol, our resources are stretched awfully thin.
And there's a new disease, and then a variant of it.
It certainly made the situation more complicated and complex.
Chief Raul Ortiz is U.S. Border Patrol's new man in charge.
And we continue to find ourselves dealing with a population that's much different than I've experienced throughout my career. We have family units, unaccompanied children. We have folks from, 140 different countries.
Local government leaders in the Rio Grande Valley and Laredo have been criticizing the feds for how they've been handling the influx of people, and the fact that locals like Catholic Charities in McAllen and the city have had to figure out COVID quarantine for migrants released by Border Patrol.
We're doing something that we're not equipped to do, that we're not supposed to do, and that we shouldn't be doing.
We've been complaining, and people supposedly have been listening for some time, but we need a solution to shut that valve until such time as we have a plan in place. Washington put a plan in place.
Ortiz says he and his boss, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, hear them.
What we have done is put them in close coordination with our FEMA partners, because there is grant funding that exists for these local communities so they can get some reimbursement, so they're not having to absorb all the costs associated with its testing or quarantining or putting them in some sort of segregated facility. So I'm confident that we're going to make some inroads on that.
How fast can or will the government bureaucracy work? As cliche as it is, all of us will have a front row seat to it as we watch what happens not only on the border, but across the country.
This affects Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, and ultimately where I live right now in Washington, D.C. And so this has to be a whole of government approach. I can't stress that enough.
In Brownsville with Jose Sanchez, I'm Anastasia Bolton.